Okay, so we are back on the interstate, making our way back to the Murdoch Hyundai, and so let's try Super Cruise again. Okay. So now it's working. Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's going to be reviewing a 2022 Cadillac Escalade that is pretty much as loaded as it comes. First and foremost, though, a huge shout out and thank you to the Hyundai here in Linden, Utah for giving me some time with this Escalade. I'm going to include a link to their inventory in the description down below where you can check this one out. It is available for sale. They obviously do sell the new Hyundai product as well if you're interested in that, so check them out either way. And then on a side note, if you want to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. Let's get into it. So under the hood, we have a naturally aspirated 6.2 liter V8 that goes through a 10-speed automatic transmission. It is good for 420 horsepower and then 460 pound-feet of torque. Now let's go with the front end of the Escalade, which is absolutely massive and imposing. So you guys can see here how the hood is kind of raised on either side, but you have these like interesting little divots there that just creates an interesting amount of contrast. Also, this one has a clear bar on it, which is a very nice thing to have when you have just so many painted parts on the front end of a vehicle. Now you guys can see here with these signature LED lights, notice it says Cadillac right there, and then we have this gigantic daytime running light that also doubles as the turn signal indicator, and then we've got parking sensors here on the front end, giant grille here at the Cadillac emblem. There's a camera there at the bottom of the emblem, and yeah, other than that, that is the front end of the Escalade. Now coming on the side here, we've got 275mm tires wrapped around 22-inch wheels in the front and over in the rear as well. And you know, in normal Cadillac fashion, everything is all blinged out, chromed out, right? So massive wheels and obviously lots of silver coloration. And then here's a quick look at the suspension. As you guys can see, we'll talk about that more a little bit later. But notice here, no fender flares. Pretty interesting. A lot of luxury SUVs will do fender flares, but not with the Escalade. And then notice how the mirrors are body painted. You got some silver trim there on the door handles, also around the windows. And you guys can see here with the side steps that are fixed. And there's your full side view. So here's a key fob for the Escalade. We have our unlock function, our lock function, remote start, the opening for the hatch, and then that's just the opening for the window. Now, first off, we have a payload capacity of 1,633 pounds and then towing capacity of 7,500 pounds as stated by the door jamb stickers on this particular Escalade. Now, first off, you can see here we've got some controls for the seats. So the first set is for the second row. That just folds down the second row. This is for the third row. It folds it down and raises it up, which is pretty cool. And notice how it's all on a speaker for the AKG sound system. Can't talk apparently. 36 speaker sound system, pretty crazy stuff. You got your little Escalade plaque here on the back. And this not being the longer wheelbase version means that, well, got some storage underneath, but there's not a ton of room behind the third row, but it's still practical enough. And well, when you're all done, all you gotta do is just press that. And it'll pop right down. Now finishing things up with the rest of the rear, we've got the Escalade's signature taillights, which are absolutely gigantic. And then notice here with the silver trim that goes into the Cadillac logo, which funny enough, if you press the logo, that's actually what opens up the hatch, which is kind of interesting. You got the little bezel that covers the receiver hitch, and then of course we've got kind of like the rectangular covers over the exhaust tips, because got to go boxy with the design of the Escalade. And I guess we got to press this a second time. And well, once that goes down, then, well, we can sum things up for the rest of the rear. Now here's the door panel in the rear. You guys can see here with the leather trim, then notice the wood trim down below that, and then we've got more leather trim down below that. I love the piping right there. And then here are the seats, and notice we have the Cadillac emblem there on the seat, perforated all down the center. You can see here with the adjustments there for the seat. Notice it says Escalade right there. And then popping in, we got this nice grab handle to help out. There's legroom. Headroom. It's fantastic here in the second row. Climate controls here in the center. Then we have our like giant cup holder situation. And you got some charging ports down below. And then as for the third row, you can very comfortably fit adults back there. You can see the seats are pretty stylized. The USB port there in the back. You got ventilation here on the roof as well. And let's head to the front. Now here's the front door panel. You can see again from a material standpoint, just absolutely fantastic with all of the material use. And then notice again with the piping. All of the windows are automatic, which is pretty cool. Blind spot monitoring for the mirrors, and then the mirrors also do power fold in. And then look at that, we got the speakers there in the headrest as part of that AKG sound system. I finally said it right for the first time. Another Cadillac emblem, and then you can see perforations there in the center. All of your adjustments here on the side, which are power. And then pretty normal pedal layout. You can see here with the parking brake. And then notice how we have our four-wheel drive auto right there. We've got our two-wheel high, four-wheel high. And then you guys can see here with our hill climb assist and then our drive mode select. We'll go over the drive modes in a minute. Steering wheel is power adjustable. Let's pop in. So here is the steering wheel, and look at this. It looks like we have Super Cruise because it's got the little bar there at the top. Anyways, we've got the cruise controls right there. You guys can see with the steering assistance. And then notice here with our controls for like the volume, for example. And then look at the wood trim here, the silver trim. And overall, nice steering wheel. Got paddle shifters there on the back. We have our little turn signal stock, windshield wiper stock. Also, that doubles as the light stock. And heated and cooled seat controls are there on the door panel. There's the steering wheel. Now here is the center gauge cluster. You guys can see it is absolutely massive, and we have it doing the whole map view setup, which I can actually change if I want. So I can change to the augmented reality. As you guys can see, there's another form. And then you can also just have it be a regular gauge cluster if you want, which is pretty fun. Did talk about those drive modes earlier, so if I press the mode button, we've got our Touring, Sport, Off-Road, Tow Haul, and then you have your My Mode. And yes, this actually can off-road. I did take one of these off-road, and it was, well, very interesting. But I think I'm gonna leave it to the AR camera, because that's my favorite thing, is having it set up like that. I don't know, just pretty cool. But other than that, that's pretty much everything for the center. You guys are probably wondering how I was controlling all that. It's this little side screen right here, so you can see that you can see different bits of info on this little side screen, and that's how you change the different functions, which is pretty cool. And it is connected to, well, this touchscreen. So yeah, we got lots of screen action here on the Escalade. So if we pop it into reverse, you guys will see you've got a backup camera with trajectory lines that do turn with the steering wheel. It's got this whole crazy 360 camera system that shows like every single angle on the Escalade, and so yeah, just super solid from a camera perspective. And it's great because it's a very large SUV. We do have Apple CarPlay as well as Android Auto. So you can see here with the screen itself, response time's fantastic. Now so you've got different bits of ambient lighting that you can change within the interior. But yeah, overall, touchscreen response time's great. You got the shortcut bar here on the side, which is easy to use, and there you go. So down below, you guys can see here, we've got our analog controls for the climate system. Again, we've got a dual zone climate system here for the front passengers. And then notice here for the lane departure, auto stop start, auto hold. And then we have our shifter for that 10-speed automatic. And then you can see here with the controls here for the infotainment system and the radio. Basically, if you don't want to use a touchscreen, you can use this whole dial setup. And then we have more storage space here in this area. And then this is actually a wireless phone charger right there. And then you can see here with the center console, tons of storage space. And then notice here with the padding, and then also on the dash, and then just speaker at the end. It's crazy. And then there with the glove box, and then I like the vent setup here in the Escalade. And then last but not least, you guys can see here, you've got a big old panoramic sunroof. You got the controls here for the sunroof on the side, and then you guys can see here for like the hatch control, garage door openers, that's for the seats. And then of course, this has the whole camera mirror setup, which is a nice bit of safety tech. Now, if you want the most up-to-date pricing on this Escalade, then check out Murdoch Hyundai and Linden's website in the description down below. Let's drive it! Well, let's talk about visibility before we set off. Here's your visibility of the hood, both of the mirrors, also air conditioned seat. We're gonna turn that on. And then you guys can see here through the rest of the rear. And let's set off. So we are setting off here in the Escalade, and I might have to pick a slightly different driving route compared to what I normally do, because I want to see how the Super Cruise system actually functions, because I have not had a GM product that has had it yet. So this will be completely new for me. So let's see if I can turn it on right here. Super Cruise unavailable, no road information. Okay, well, that's a great start. Well, it sounds like we've got specific roads that we have to be on for the Super Cruise system to work. So I'll try to get on something that's a little bit more of a main road, I guess. Hopefully you can use it on more than just the interstate, because that would be quite annoying if you could only use it on the interstate. Okay, this is more of like a main road. Still unavailable. Anyways, let's talk about just how the Escalade drives in general with this setup. So this one just has the standard suspension, if you guys are wondering, and it's a solid setup. It's actually pretty smooth. It's comfortable as well. And the 6.2 V8 is great. It just tons of torque, gets you up and moving. Obviously, there's a new Cadillac Escalade V. Haven't had a chance to review that yet. But what I can tell you with this is that this feels like enough power. So I don't have any complaints with this from a power perspective. So I guess that we'll turn down here. We are going to keep on going until we can use our Super Cruise system with the Escalade. Okay, so here's another road. Let's try this one out. No road information. What in the world? We're gonna give you self-driving, but you're not gonna be able to use it anywhere. Okay, Cadillac, I see ya. Well, it's not, it's GM. This is like for sure, okay, this, I'm probably gonna get destroyed in the comment section, but like this is for sure a main road. This has to allow me to use Super Cruise. Okay, so you guys can see Super Cruise unavailable, driving an exit lane, so we're gonna try to change lanes and actually use this system. It's a much longer test drive than I expected. Okay, so Super Cruise active. Can I increase the speed? Okay, I can increase the speed. Auto lane change. What? Why is it changing lanes? Okay, that's weird. Wow, okay. This is such a strange experience for me. And I don't have my hands on it at all. I'm hovering though because I'm like kind of like eh. So I wonder if it'll, oh, so I have to take control now? What the heck? Did you just, Super Cruise unavailable, no road information. So it worked for like 10 seconds. I'm wondering if it's because like, I would think that this would be more mapped out. Well, I have to get back anyways, so I'll take the interstate. I have to take the interstate back up. So I'll try another interstate run on my way back up, and well, we'll see if it works for a little bit longer. Okay, so we are back on the interstate, making our way back to the Murdoch Hyundai, and so let's try Super Cruise again. Okay, so now it's working. Maybe that was just a little glitch that I experienced, who knows. This is so strange. So can I increase this? Oh, I can increase the speed, just like adaptive cruise control. So I can make this go as fast as I want. Now what I want to test, since there is, slow down a little bit. Since that truck just moved over, I want to see if it'll change lanes for me. Wow. Will it turn off the turn signal for me? No, so I have to turn off the turn signal by myself, which is fine. Something just flew out of something there. What the heck? Okay. I'm trying to show you guys that I'm not doing this. The Escalade is in fact doing it. So this is actually pretty cool. So when the system's working, when everything's working, it works really well. Huh. This is pretty fun. Oh, it's changing lanes for me again by itself. What the heck? It just decided that this is the optimal route to go. Oh, and I have to take over. There, see again, same exact thing. It's, huh. This is the same exact area where the Super Cruise system disabled the last time. So I wonder if this specific area of highway isn't mapped out. Because literally that was location. Because it worked before this area, and you guys saw earlier, just north of it. So that is kind of interesting. Let's see if it'll work again. Yeah, it is literally just that area that it doesn't work. That is funky. Hopefully that shows you guys, though, at least the functionality of the Super Cruise. So since we are making our way back, let's just sum things up here with the Escalade that has Super Cruise. So the system is super cool when it's working, but obviously it looks like GM needs to map out more areas so that the system can, you know, function, I guess, in more areas. I think it'd be pretty cool to be able to use this around town and all that kind of stuff. I'm sure that there's, you know, a lot of stuff preventing that from happening, because it's a lot easier to drive a vehicle on the interstate than it is around town, because of all the stopping and starting you have around town versus the interstate's just pretty much straight going. But yeah, overall, I mean, it's definitely a step above adaptive cruise control with steering assistance. But what I will say is it looks like it doesn't give you like a true self-driving experience where like you can just be hands-off. I had to intervene several times testing it out, where like it gave me a warning saying, hey, you got to intervene because the system's doing whatever. And so I guess what I have to say is when it works, it's great. When it doesn't work, it's like whatever. And it's not like there's anything wrong. This Escalade's like 2,900 miles on this thing's perfectly fine. It's just GM's software with this, so I guess they just need to do a good old software update. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about Super Cruise. Now let's get some things up for our video on this Escalade. And with that being said, again, a huge shout out and thank you to the Murdoch Hyundai here in Linden for giving me some time with this Escalade. Check out the inventory in the description down below. I'll see you.